Alright, Hedgehog. Finally, we meet again with your two accomplices. Actually, we're Hedgehog Bros. That's basically what we're going to call ourselves. Anyway, why do you make us come here anyway? And specifically today of all days? Well, that's the thing though. And also, why do you allow us, break tails, knuckles, and even yours? Well, that's because of one main reason. Oh, cut the music off. We're not actually here to fight. Thank you. Wait, what? Wait. We're not here to fight, then why'd I actually bring all this way in the first place? I just wanted to say, Happy birthday, Sonic! What? Wait, what? Oh, come on, don't you think I forget? This is our 35th anniversary. Wait, you brought us all here just for a birthday? I mean, yes, come on, how else am I going to give Sonic over here? You have a point. Okay, anyway, let me explain myself. Since I probably need to start explaining, why don't we show off our first history together? What? Wait, is this? Yup, this is the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Back there in 1991. Back when we were first created. Wait, if you were gonna Silver Side, then why do you even bring me and Silver along? You two did came out during some anniversary games, and so I guess I had to bring you two along. Okay. This was the first Sonic game created. The first game that started the Blue Rodent, myself, and some of the most iconic zones in the game, which will later on be seen as re-releases. This would also bring in a cult classic. That does make sense, I guess. This was also the first game that we ever got the Chaos Emeralds. That was also first created. Next up, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which was the second game ever created for the franchise. Which, of course, was the game that introduced you and your best friend, Tails. Oh yeah, me and my little buddies do grown so much. Yeah, but you two do have your ups and downs. Just go tell fans of Archie. What? Nothing. Forget your unknown one. Remember that part of the franchise. Oh, hey, where did I come from? Oh, perfect timing. You get to join our little show. Anyway, as much as I would love to explore more of this game, we have some others to explain. Of course, we got Sonic CD, the official third mainline game in the franchise, or technically the second game in canonical order. But anyway, this Sonic game would invent some newest things, including our favorite robot's version of use, Metal. Wait, what about Megazord? Didn't he appear in Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Yeah, but what about the little robot they do Sonic 2 8-bit? Anyway, point is, this would also be our first real battle that isn't just, hit the boss 8 times. The Metal Sonic race would be well known for being a very popular boss in the whole franchise. In fact, this was probably one of the only good boss fights in Sonic CD as a whole, compared to all the misfits that we had in that game. Despite Sonic CD being more of a explorer game, it's remained as I guess you can say in the collection, a Sonic Gem collection. Of course, this franchise also was the birth of another character, which, of course, the Hedgehog was about to show in a second. I think we all know who we're talking about, right? Oh yeah. My favorite capture, Amy Rose, also known as Rosie DeVasco, and in the Sonic CD manual in the US, Sally Acorn. For to this day, no one understands why Sega was gonna try to call her Sally Acorn, even though she wasn't even close to look at her. And we all know Hedgehog. We don't know that. Anyway, bring in the girl. Wait, where am I? Perfect. Now let's go on to our fourth game. Next up, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, which was the first or the third Sonic game. This was also the first game to introduce our favorite echidna, Knuckles the Echidna. And in a way to stop me and my plans, we'll steal the 7 Chaos Emeralds for you to collect in the game. Which will also be the first time you actually have a real part or a rival that wasn't technically ever seen. This game was also special as it actually had in-game cutscenes, which was pretty much a first, if we're not counting the stuff we saw in Sonic 2 or Sonic CD, but anyway, this had way more of that compared to what have, including the first introduction to mini bosses, like the Fire Breath, which actually has its own little cutscene in the game, which actually shows off the more story elements, like Angel being catch on fire. And so there was some controversy with this game, especially with a certain musician who worked on Sonic 3, but with this whole bosses and also, yeah, and I guess Anthropo Zone isn't technically a good zone, but anyway, this still remains a cult classic game, especially with our battles and all that. And also, this also introduced another iconic boss, which sucked in person, but this still remains as a good boss fight. To this day, even though it's not really technically good, but story-wise, it's fun, it's unique, which also bring in our favorite red echidna, Knuckles. Oh, what the? Where am I now? Knuckles, I gotta be honest here, we don't know what's going on right now. In fact, we're all confused just as you are. Oh, I am not. Anyway, to the next game. I guess it's Knuckles KX. It takes place canonically after that, right? Yeah, you would think it's Knuckles KX, but we're going to have to skip a bunch of games because if we did, this channel would be take forever. And also, we don't have a lot of footage for most of the games, so we're just going to speed round this, eh? Now we go on to Sonic Adventure, which is technically, in a way, our first 3D Sonic game, which also brings in the Adventure era. And yes, even though this isn't seen to be a very big game, this game actually saw introduced some more of our classic elements, like for example, the 3D elements, including a bunch of brand new how to explain, graphics that even back then it wasn't back then it was a masterpiece, but nowadays it can be seen as a little weird. But anyway, after all, this was a masterpiece back then. This will also be the Sonic game that introduced our first real final boss that wasn't me. Perfect Chaos. We're not gonna count Metal Sonic High. Mainline games, remember? Anyway, Metal Overlord, or not Metal Overlord, Perfect Chaos is special as he is literally known as the first and also the best final boss with a banger soundtrack, which we can't play because of copyright reasons. Anyway, this final boss was not just a great end to a game, but a great start to a trend of new bosses that could end up with more popularity than else. I guess the next step is my game, right? Yep, we're moving on to Sonic Adventure 2. Now we have Sonic Adventure 2, which is the sequel to Sonic Adventure. This Sonic game was, even though it did play mostly the same as Sonic Adventure 1, it still showed off many cool elements like the truck, new bosses, and most importantly, here it comes. Sonic the Hedgehog was introduced to the world for the first time in our very lives, which is actually fun. After all, other than Metal Sonic, we never had a fully opposite version of Sonic before, so this was a unique idea to a unique Sonic game. Well, sorry about that. I was surprised that you wasn't gonna mention me. Oh yes, this also was a Sonic game that introduced rules to bat. Finally, I thought it would take that long. Yes, and anyway, and the most important part about Sonic's character is the loss with her and his and Maria. Please don't remind me of that. I'm still having mental scars from watching Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Yeah, maybe we should give you a heads up. This was gonna follow your origin story. Yeah, you could have easily. Yes, yes, but anyway, point is, after the end of the game, my father, General Robotnik, was going to crash the Ark on the Earth, destroying it altogether. But I guess all I can say is goodbye, Pappy. Anyway, we also want to have another cool final boss with. Anyway, after we have our final moments with Shadow in his little arc, the two hedgehogs will turn super to, of course, reach perfect super powers and turn into the super form version of Super Sonic and Super Cell to defeat the Biolizard once and for all. Or at least that's what people think. But sadly, after the events of the main story, Saturn would also have sacrificed himself to save the world. Though that doesn't really happen nowadays since, I keep on coming back. Yep, but back then, people thought this was going to be the last Sonic game. This wasn't going to be where our story ended. Huh. That's actually kind of a sad thought. Yes, but that never came to be. Anyway, we have one more Sonic game to cover since, well, Sonic Heroes didn't really do much other than include the chaos and all that stuff. Which we can't even talk about much since, they're not Lego minifigures yet. And also, a lot of the other Sonic games are not that memorable, so we're just going to talk about the technically what people call Sonic 06, I guess. Which, yeah, might sound lazy to do as the final game to show up, but anyway, this is the best we got, so anyway. Next up, we have boom, Sonic 06. This was the final Sonic game in the franchise. Or not the final Sonic game in the franchise, but in a way, this was kind of a third act of Sonic Adventure. A Sonic Adventure 3, if you will. But sadly, this game had multiple different problems, different bugs, different glitches. The story was just bland as heck. You even do the one worst thing any Sonic fan tried to remember to this day. I know what he's talking about. It's well known. Yes, it is. What are you guys talking about? Oh, that's right. Me and Sonic are the only ones who remember this whole stupid game. Anyway, we're talking about. Okay, so context. Sonic would have actually technically died officially, but thanks to the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and how do I explain this? The favor of our main female protagonist in the story, she would have, oh god, I'm sorry, I'm feeling about to vomit for missing this, but she would have kissed Sonic the Hedgehog. What? That was a scene in the game? Yes, look, this was not very memorable. And the worst part is, this was Silver's big introduction. And my boss fight wasn't good either. And the worst part is, people to this day would use my quote, "It's no use," as a joke. Yep. Now let's set up our device, cuz that's all I want to cover for today, cuz even though you and your friends do annoy me a lot, you are still technically the main reason why your franchise exists, because think about it. Without you and your friends, our franchise wouldn't be that good today. Ahem, you were forgot about someone? Oh yeah, Blaze was also in Sonic 06, but he appeared in Sonic West Adventure, which we're not going to cover because, two main Sonic games, and we're just going to make this a little video as a, technically a way of, yeah, I know, thank you for the Sonic franchise, which is nice, I guess. So basically that's it, right? Yeah, and of course there's like tons of different other Sonic games like Sonic Generations, Sonic Colors, Unleashed. And also we even skipped Sonic Heroes and Sonic the Hedgehog. which is because of the fact that we have a specific runtime. So yes, we're just gonna focus on the main focus games, and heck, we even have a bad one in the end, which, sir, people would say our fan size is slow. People would say our fan size is a bit bad most times, but that doesn't fix the fact that we created a legacy. And so our legacy might be a bit slow right now, but there is a saying. I gave a robotic a saying. He's saying that no matter what happens to us, no matter how many bad games we might get, we are still going to still be one of the most popular video games for us in the end. Yeah, after all, we were the reason why Sega is popular to this day. Just think about it. Well, us, Sega probably would have been another random video game company, and maybe would not even exist to this day. Well, and we also spawned so much merchandise, toys, comics, TV shows, everything. We to this point. And if you stop falling over, you're kind of ruining this whole dramatic scene about the franchise. Sorry. Okay, anyway, without us, Sonic would not be this strong today. And that's not it. And that's just not just it. They're just also one of the main rival franchises ever. Think about it. With the amount of crossover games we got with Super Mario, some crossover with Mega Man, we might still be one of the top great games. Heck, I even got to appear in Sonic in Super Smash Bros. And no matter what, how many people say our games are bad, we will never stop giving up. And sir, our potential might have almost caused the franchise ending twice. It still doesn't matter, as long as we are one, we are all together. And to all of our fans of the franchise who have been hanging out for 35 years, we all just want to say, Happy 35th anniversary, Sonic the Hedgehog! See you in the next game. Wait, question. Are we going to get something big this year since, we're almost 35 years in? And considering the fact that we never got a big announcement per se on a new game, something tells me this anniversary will be slow. Ah, man. I was kind of hoping we would have got a good game. I mean, Silver, we're starting just fully just let out. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Sega will announce something big tomorrow. Or, maybe Sega will announce something very big. Like what? I don't know. Maybe we're lucky we'll get a Sonic Events, like a trilogy or something. Or Sonic Events, per se. I would prefer if we have the adventure games on newer consoles, because believe me, those games are desperate needs. Can you guys stop with the whole thing? Because after all, this is what our franchise have come to. Hey guys, this is actually LP Studios speaking here. And I want to say thank you guys for 1 year of this franchise. Or not 1 year, but 1 year of my channel, because these characters helped my channel grow into what it is today. And sure, my choices of making more type of videos were probably the downside of some of my channel points at one point. But this is also my main selling point. These side characters, my unique take on them, my unique stories, this is what caused the franchise to go up. And especially with the fact that Season 2 is going to be closing up soon, and I will be starting up Sonic X Trust Wars again. It just basically bring a tear to my eye thinking how far we got in just 1 year. Though I am sad that one day I'm going to have to end Sonic's story, and maybe even end my channel as a whole, but until then, we still got a long way to go, so thank you guys. And thank you also Sega for inspiring me to make this series of mine. I always wanted to do YouTube and I never knew what to do in my life, so until then I discovered Sonic back when I was like a little boy during the years of 2017, where I played Sonic 2 on phone, then played Sonic Mania Plus, and then bam, got hooked as a Sonic fan. So thanks Sega, you really inspired me to make this. So I just hope that whatever your next project is, I'll be there to support you to the very end. Also guys, I got a big announcement to make as well. So I recently have purchased this. That's right guys. Sonic Superstars officially joined the game that is going to be in, of course, in the series Sonic Tales of the Classics. But that is probably not going to be the only purpose of this game, because we are actually going to do a Let's Play series where all the Sonic characters here will be playing this game, eh? And it's not going to be coming out anytime soon yet, because, well, I'm still trying to focus on Season 2 and all that stuff, but we will be releasing like a prequel series where all the characters will be playing Sonic Mania, so hey, I hope you enjoy that, eh? So without further ado, LB Studio is signing off.